Hello, my dear friends. I'm glad to welcome you again today. I hope you can hear me. You can write it down in the chat whether you
Buongiorno.
hear me or not. Hello, Luigi. Okay, very good.
Hello.
Hello, Mashoud.
Hello.
Hello, Sabine. I'm glad to see you today. Okay, so we have little changes in our schedule due to the personal reasons of the speaker here who had to conduct market analysis masterclass today for you. He couldn't come, he couldn't join us today. So today we're gonna spend some time doing design thinking. We're going to talk about this framework and the tools, the instruments that we implement in design thinking frame. And market analysis you will have a little bit later. So I think, let me see if everyone is already here. I think yes, I think most of you have joined. Okay. Okay, so very good, very good. Today we're going to work in groups also. Let me see, I'm checking the technical things. Okay, so now I will demonstrate our mirror board. Just a minute, we will go there. I will send you the link once again. There it is. Many frames we have for today and much work to do, so we are really pressed for time. We will have to work really fast. I will try to answer all the questions if they will arise. If not, you may text me in WhatsApp or contact me via email if we won't have chance to discuss anything today. So I'm sending the link on the mirror board in the chat. Please join the board. I looked at the board with the so-called home task that I gave you to write down your name and the name of your project that you're going to work on the last time that we worked together. I see you didn't do it, but well, it's okay. Today we're going to go deeper in your ideas with the instrument of design thinking, and I think maybe your ideas will get clearer to you and you will focus on some well, ideas or products that you would like to develop as a startup or as an innovative project. So we're starting with the energy rate level, as we did last time. Please, you can see it on the board. The board is today, January the 14th, is Thursday. So please, Sabine didn't take part in this activity last time, so I will explain it to you. You are taking the sticky note from the left column with instruments. You place the sticky note on the level of the energy battery that depicts how you are feeling today. So 5 is the highest level. It means that I'm full of energy and I'm ready for effective, efficient work. I'm ready to share my energy. So 1 is the lowest level. It means that, well, I'm down, I'm upset. It may not be concerned with the school. It may not be concerned with your studies, with the class. It may be concerned with your professional work, with your personal reasons, anything that makes you down. Why we are doing it, I've already told it to the rest of the listeners, because it is very important to understand on which level of energy we are today with you. that is to say, we can, well, combine our classes, our courses in some way to make them more effective. So we are here Thursday, January the 14th. Please pick the sticky notes and place on the level of the battery you are feeling now. I will do it with you. So we are taking the sticky note. We're writing our name. So I will place it on level 4. That's a very high level. Rarely people have the level 5 because it's, that's really a storm of energy if you place it on the 5 level. So 4 is very good level, okay. So please. And we will proceed, first of all, with a little bit of theory on design thinking. I will check the time. I will try to do it in about 15 or 20 minutes. That's very little because, in fact, we can talk about design thinking hours and hours. And we can test the instruments of design thinking, not only one meeting, not only one day to day, but sometimes there are special laboratories are held that last for 3 or 5 days, and we only test the instruments of design thinking and nothing else. But today we're going to get the insight into the framework. You will know what it is about, the main idea of design thinking, and we will try some tools with the help of which you can develop your own ideas, your own products. Okay, so almost everyone is on the battery. That's very good. Okay, thank you, thank you. Now I'm switching to the presentation. If you have any questions while I will be speaking, you may write down in the chat and I will read it later. And answer the questions. If you see any problems, if you don't see the presentation, if you can't hear me well, can't see me well or anything, so also please write down in the chat. I will place it here so that I can see it. Okay, and now we will talk about the design thinking framework and what it is about, how it is used in business sphere, and in fact nowadays in many other spheres to create innovative products and services that are human-centered, that are really wanted by the customer. So it's not switching. Okay, that's our plan for today. So introduction, we've already passed it. It was our battery. A little bit of theory. I will try to make it maybe even shorter than 20 minutes to have more time for practice. Then we will have a little break and then we will dive into the tools of design thinking. We will try the frames. You already saw them on the mirror board. They are not so scary as it may seem from the first sight. They are the instruments that help you to understand the customer better and to understand how to solve his problem in a better way. What is design thinking and why is it so popular today? Why is it used in so many spheres? Maybe some of you already know the instruments of design thinking and already worked in the frame of design thinking. Our project name, yes, you can fill it later. Now we will focus on the main material and then we will proceed with technical procedures. Okay, so please in the chat, write down whether you are aware already of what design thinking is, or maybe you are already working in this frame, or maybe you tried design thinking tools. So please, who can share his experience, please write down in the chat so we could know who is an expert in design thinking. It is very important because today we're going to work in groups, and maybe somebody will have an advantage because he's already aware of this framework and the tools that it contains. So please write down in the chat if you already came across design thinking framework. In fact, why is design thinking used so frequently today by many companies, big companies as well, and startup companies? Because design thinking is a very good way to create human-centered innovations. That is to say, not only to create some innovative products, not knowing where they can be applied or whom they are made for, but to create innovative products and services that are wanted by the customer, that really help to solve the problems of your customer. And in this way, design thinking is the complex of methods, tools, instruments that help to understand the customer better, to find his problems, and to find, to generate the better way, the better solutions to meet the customer's needs. That is why the last several years design thinking is becoming more and more popular, because we are now focused on the personality, the persona, as it's called in design thinking, and solving the specific problems of the customer, and not only generating some products, not knowing what we're generating them for. So I will try to switch. Okay, these are the main steps of design thinking that we will go through. Of course, we will not be able to test. Yes, Mashud is writing down how, yes, that's a very good notion. Design thinking is about how to solve that challenge, including different challenges. Yes, that's very good. This framework is very helpful, especially in time when, for example, the time that we're passing now, when there are numerous solutions, we cannot exactly know what is right. The world is changing very fast, and you have to find the right answers to meet your customers' needs. So that's different approaches. Yes, that's right. Okay, so these are the main steps of design thinking. According to this school, it's located, it's based in Stanford, and it's one of the basic institutions that is developing design thinking approach in the world. You can also, I will give you, I think, yes, down there in the left corner, you see the a link to the D school at Stanford, and you can go to their website. There are plenty of materials about design thinking and some useful tools and instruments. You can also watch these materials because it may be helpful. Because today, unfortunately, we don't have much time to get into the depth of all the instruments. So there are there are 5 basic steps that are the D school. Just a minute. Will you share the yes, I will share the presentation, so you will have a chance to read, because I think I will skip some slides to save the time. But the presentation will be available, and you will have a chance to read it once again. Okay, so these 5 basic steps that we are normally passing during the design thinking process include empathy, definition of the problem, ideation of the solutions, prototyping these solutions, and testing these solutions. Each step is very important. They can be sometimes circled, because normally when we come to the test, it is not the end. Normally we cannot make the perfect product from the first time. So there are numerous iterations. We will have to try again. So after testing, we normally go back to one of the steps. It may be the step of prototyping if we made something wrong in our product itself. It may be, we may go back to the step of ideation if our solution was not right. We may go back even to the step of empathy or definition if we could not define our customer properly or his problem properly. So this circle may be different, and there may be numerous, there are normally numerous circles in design thinking process until you make this perfect service or product for your customer. So now a little bit more about each of these steps, and what is more important, the instruments that are used in every of these steps. The first step is empathy. I think it's easily understandable for you what empathy is. It's the possibility to get into the shoes of your customer or some other person, if we're not talking about marketing, if we're not talking about making products. That is to say, it's the better understanding of another person. In our case, it's your customer. Several tools in design thinking frame help to understand better the emotions, the needs, wants, fears of the customer, so that his problem could be solved in the best possible way. What are these instruments? First of all, about the methods, how we analyze our customer. I think you will get a deeper understanding during the customer development class on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. But I will just say a few words. So the methods may be observation, when we just watch what our customers do in this or that situation, and how we can improve this situation, how with the help of which product we can make it better. Analysis, of course, when we collected some information, when we observed, collected some information, we analyze this information to propose better solutions. Interview. Sometimes we can carry out the interviews with our potential customers to understand their needs and wants better. Empathic listening, it's common with the interview. It's something very close. When the customer is telling us his experience, his story, and we are trying to listen to it very empathically, placing ourselves in the shoes of this person. Sharing stories is also a good method when we not only listen or asking questions, when we ourselves start telling some story about our experience. It helps to break the ice when the customer is complicated, when there is a complicated group of customers and it's difficult to get proper information with the help of an interview or empathic listening. Sometimes sharing stories is very helpful because it helps to break the ice. You start telling something about your own experience, about yourself, and the other person begins to share his thoughts with you. Two important methods that are normally used in design thinking process are empathic lettering, the so-called 5 whys. When we ask, when we get the answer to some question, we ask why for 5 more times. So, for example, I like oranges. Why do you like oranges? I like oranges because they're tasty. Why they seem tasty to you? They seem tasty to me because they are sweet, or I don't know, no, they're not sweet, or anything else. So, because these 5 whys, these 5 why questions help us to get to the core, to the basic reason why our customer needs this or that product, this or that solution, so that we can make the product better. And another method is the analysis of extreme, the so-called extreme users. That is to say, we always have a golden middle, a number of customers who are almost the same. For example, when we are making some IT application, we are orientating on some middle customer. It is a man or a woman from 25 to 45 who is good in computers, who is not facing problems with internet and all that stuff. But there are always extreme users, for example, little children or maybe elder people. And we can analyze their behavior and understand what difficulties they may face while using our product or service to make it better, to make it suitable for a wider range of customers. In the bottom of the page, you see the empathy map canvas that helps to analyze the customer's needs, wants, fears, to make the portrait of the customer. And it is one of the activities that we're going to do with you today during the practice. It's one of the most popular tools in empathy step of design thinking. The other instrument is the stakeholders mapping. We also will do it. You don't see it on the slide, but you will see it on the mirror board. I will explain how it works. So we also will do this, try this instrument today. Another instrument is the customer journey map. That is to say, it's the way, the road of our customer. So how he is interacting with the, how he might be interacting with our product or service, what difficulties he may face, what advantages he will receive, and all that is placed on the board, on the so-called map. And it helps to visually get the problem spheres and to fix them while we are only creating the service or the product. So it's also an interesting instrument. We won't have time to taste it now, but you may see this. The form of this map is quite simple. You may adopt it to your needs and try it on your product or your service that you would like to develop. The second step, the second mode in design thinking framework is the definition. That means the definition of the problem. When we depicted our customer, when we described the portrait of our customer on the step of empathy, we have to focus on some of his problems. We have to unpack the insights that we got from interviews, from the customer's portrait, and understand in which spheres, in which ways he has some hopes or he has some sufferings that we can use to make some products, services, to make his life better. In fact, on this step, we are forming our point of view on the problem of our customer. We will also make this step today. We will outline the problem that you would like to solve for your customer. On the mirror board, we will stop on this step also. So the third step is ideating. We already tried to generate the ideas for your startups, for your innovations. So I think it's maybe the most interesting step in design thinking where you generate ideas. The main thing is to generate as many ideas as possible and not to criticize the ideas that your partners in your company or in your team are proposing. So we have to listen, we have to collect all these ideas all together, and afterwards we will have to analyze them. But on the first part of the step, ideation, we have to ideate as many ideas as possible, even the craziest ideas, because sometimes the ideas that may seem fantastic or crazy from the first sight turn out into real products and services and turn out to be very successful. Yes, that happens. So we should not, we should be very open-minded. We should accept all the ideas that are coming from our mind or from our partners. So the second part of the ideation process is picking the ideas. That is to say, on this stage, we have, for example, we generated, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 ideas. And we have to pick few of them, or even one, for prototyping, because of course it's impossible to prototype 20 ideas at the same time. We don't have resources for that. When we, let me see, there is in the chat something, maybe. Brainstorming helps in ideating process. Yes, exactly. On the previous class, when we named our skills, if I'm not mistaken, Mashoud named brainstorming as his useless skill, but in fact it is very useful when the team has to generate ideas. Brainstorming, in fact, is the instrument of ideating process. So what is important when we have from a big amount of ideas to pick the most important, those that we will try to prototype for the first time, because there might be several iterations. As I said, we may go back and pick some other idea if the first one was not successful. What is important? It is important within the team to agree to work out the criteria. So how we will pick this or that idea. Maybe you remember last time we tried the system of now, how, wow. So for example, it may be one of the instruments, or anything else. You may just rate these ideas by voting. You may choose some other criteria which are important for your company, for your project. But this criteria should be fixed. So you have to fix it in the very beginning. And what is more important is to make a common decision, the decision of the whole team. I think you understand why it is important, because if the team, for example, if the team leader gets the responsibility for picking one of the ideas, there is a risk that the team would not support it and would not work on this idea efficiently. So it is very important that the idea that is picked, that this decision was the decision of the team. There are several ways. It can be voting. For example, if we get 50% yes, then it means that we choose this idea. And we don't pay the attention to those who voted no. And there is another way where we search for the complete decision of the whole team, when every member of the team says yes. On the teams that are newly formed, on the young teams, it may be very hard. When the team is working together for a long time, that is quite possible because they understand each other better, and it's easier for them to communicate and to lead the negotiations between each other. And sometimes it may be effective instrument for the teams who work together for a long time. Why? Once again, because when we get half of the team is for this idea, half of the team is for another. For example, 51% is for the first idea, so we take this first idea. But there will be 49% of the team members who won't support it. That doesn't mean that they will stop working on this idea, but that may mean that they won't put their soul in this project, in this idea, and that's a risk, of course. But if we try to get the yes decision from every member, it may take a long time, especially if the team is young. So that's up to the team leader to decide which way of picking the idea, of choosing the solution will be right. And as I have said, it also should be fixed in the very beginning of the work. So when we start working, when we form the team, we have to create some basic rules and agreements between the team members, including this step, ideating, how we will pick the ideas, which will be the criteria, and so on. So the next step we are going to is prototyping. Prototyping is making the MVP of product in any way that we can afford ourselves. it's written on the slide that the best prototype is fast and cheap. Right, that's exactly the true, because we have to prototype and to test really quickly to have more time for improvement. If we put much resources of time or financial resources or human resources in producing the prototype, we may waste a lot of money, a lot of time on a thing, on a product that is not needed by the customer, that won't have any value. So when our prototype is fast and cheap, we can make mistakes quickly, and we can improve our products very quickly. Prototyping helps us to get the experience, to understand whether we are going in the right way or not. So how can we test our hypothesis? So how can we prototype? Of course, it is good when we can make the MVP of the product. For example, if we're talking about some IT application, it may be the same application, but with less functions, or with not very beautiful interface, for example. But sometimes the products are so complicated that it's not possible to make the MVP itself, the product itself. In this case, we can go to various methods that design thinking offers us. For example, it's storytelling. By the way, it was also in the table of useless skills, if my memory doesn't fail me. But as we learn now, it is quite useful. So you can just tell your customer how he will interact with your product or service. It may be modeling, when you make the model of your future product. It may be a storyboard. It may be a Lego 3D model. For example, the simplest way is really to form your future product from Lego parts, Lego details, and it is sometimes used in design thinking laboratories, in design thinking workshops, when the teams make the product they want to produce from Lego details, Lego parts. It's the stop motion, when you show, make a sort of a video or a small video record for your customers with the description, or showing how he will interact with your product or your service. Or body storming, when that is to say, you make a play. You play how your product or your service will work for your customer. And there are many other ways to show the potential product to the potential customer. So there are many ways of prototyping if we don't have resources to create the product on any level of its development in the very beginning. So all of them are relatively good for this or that situation. And the final step, the last but not the least, is testing. Why I'm saying that it's the last but not the least, because in fact it's the final step in the chain, but it's not the final step in a design thinking process, in the process of producing product, because rarely testing is successful from the first time. Normally we have to make several iterations and to return back to some of the steps before, to change something in our prototype, in our product, and to go to testing once again. Normally it's a very long chain. I have already told you about the power of iteration. So fast mistakes are cheaper. When we fail quickly, we can quickly understand what is wrong, what we can improve, how we can make our product and service better. So testing, prototyping and testing in this way is very, very useful. There is a question I see. Would you mind make clear stop motion and body storming more? Okay, so stop motion is a sort of a video, any video that you can record about your product or your service. For example, when you're making some application or IT program, that doesn't have full functionality, and you cannot give it in, for example, smartphone to test to your customer, because, well, he won't cope with it. He may do something wrong, and the program won't work. In this case, you may record your screen, the screen of your laptop or your smartphone, making some steps that you have to pass in your application, in your program, and show this record to your customer. I hope if it's clear. That's the example of stop motion. And if we're telling about body storming is a funny way. It's a little bit playful. For example, when the team comes before the potential customer or the stakeholder and well, in fact, makes a small play, showing, for example, the customer, the shop assistant, any other actors, people who are acting in the process of using the product or the service that you're proposing, and make a little scene, a little play of how it may work in the real life. It's a little bit funny. It's not. It may not be suitable for every stakeholder, but still, as an instrument, it may be used. It is rarely used because, well, it may not be accepted well by the stakeholder or the customer itself. Okay, so these are the main steps. Yes, I haven't told about what is important to do when we are testing. The main focus when we are testing our prototype is to fix the mistakes and to fix the reaction of our potential customer. The methods of testing may be observation or setting goals. Observation is when we give the MVP to the customer and we are not giving any directions, any instructions. So we just give him the object and leave him alone, just watching what he is doing. It can be used only if your MVP is well developed. So if there are almost no risks of mistakes, when the customer will easily understand what he can do and can try, well, that is to say, pushing the buttons without the risk to spoil the whole product. The second way, setting goals, is easier. When you give the customer a product or a service and say, push here, go there, look at this, describe what you feel when you see this, describe what you think about this, and so on. So there is a sort of instruction that your potential customer or the focus group should go through and give you answers. It is very important during the testing period to fix all the mistakes and the reactions of the focus group or potential customer, and even sporadic mistakes, even those mistakes that are not systematic. It is also very important because we understand that they may arise only once or only twice, but it's important to focus on them because they somehow fall out of the scheme, and they may come out in the most unexpected time. So it's very important to fix these problems and these questions that arose like that. And afterwards, when we fixed all that, we have to analyze all the information that we received while testing and be ready to start again. After the analysis, we have to make a point whether we are going or what is wrong with our product or our service, what the customers didn't like, and try to understand why they didn't like it. And as I have said before, I will go back here. So after the testing, we may go back either to the prototype. For example, if we just made the wrong model or chose the wrong way to present our product. So we can just improve our prototype and go to testing again. That's the easiest way, the best way. If the problem is not in the prototype, in this mechanism, this product itself, maybe we should go to the ideation process. So maybe the solution that we picked out of all the ideas was wrong. And we may have to look at the others and maybe to think of some other solution. Or the worst is when we have to go to the steps of empathy, of definition. It means that we didn't understand our customer at all, that we did not depict the portrait of our customer correctly, or could not focus on his specific problem. So in this case, we have to start the process from the very, very beginning, from the analysis of our customer. So these are the major steps of design thinking. We will try some of them today. Of course, we won't have time to go through all the steps to make prototypes, but I think we'll try to go through the first three to understand the customer, to understand his problems, to outline the stakeholders of your project, and to try to mark, to get closer to forming the prototype of your product or service. I will give you the special forms on the Miro board and explain how we will work with these forms. So I propose now to make a 10 minutes break, and afterwards carry on with the practical activities. We will have to jump really fast through the steps of the practice because we don't have much time. If you have any questions, you may ask now. Please be free to ask questions. You may switch your microphones on or do it in the chat. What is the case? You mean exercising in the tools of design thinking, Mashoud? Maybe you could switch the microphone. If you are talking about the tools of design thinking for exercising, yes, please.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
Is my voice there?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I want to ask you, is your car fixed?
No, not yet. I'm still waiting.
Oh, sorry.
For a specialist. That's
okay, sorry.
At least the process.
So I was thinking of the which case can be better to work on in this exercise, because the time is limited, and which maybe some kind of case that you propose it can be the best one to got the most of learning points.
Yes, I understand your question. So how we will work the next hour, the next 70 minutes? You will be divided into two groups and you will work on separate cases. I will explain how you will depict your customer. It will be randomly. You may focus on the ideas that you had before, or you may think of anything completely different. And then you will have a sort of a home task to fill the same forms, but for your own project. These forms will be useful for your final presentation, so you may use the information that you will write down there. And but they will be connected with your personal ideas if you have some. And then I will give the revision of this homework. I will give little comments on what is written there. I will explain it after the break. We will go in this practice. Yes. So in fact, we will work on cases because we won't be able to work on the project of all of you at the same time. Just don't have time for it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now 10 minutes break and we are coming back here to carry on with the practical part. I think I will put the Miro board and the timing, fix the timing up there. Okay, so see you all in 10 minutes. Okay, so now our time is up. I hope you all joined us again. Let me see. I think no one is missing. Okay, very good. So now we are going to get some practice in design thinking in the first step, empathy, and focusing on the problems of your potential customer. Join the Mira board, please.
Can you share the link, please? Because
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Just a minute. I think I will try to share the direct link to the board. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, so it should direct you right to the board where we will be working today. And now I will explain how it will all go. Let me see the time. Okay, so 60 minutes we have. First of all, we will have to depict our customer, the so-called persona of the customer. Who is he? Try to understand his basic needs and wants. So, for example, let me show you. This is the first frame that is here. Okay, you will have two cases. There will be two teams and two cases. That will be an easy task for you because you will get the general characteristic of your persona, of your potential customer. I will give it to you, and I'm thinking to give you the solution, the product, or to make it generated, but I think because we have very little of time, I will give you the product also, and you will just have to think of how to improve this product, how to make it better, how to make it hit the main needs and wants of your customer better. So what we place here, for example, I will give you an example right here. For example, my persona will be Anna. We always place the name because the better we depict the portrait of our customer is the best. So we have to personalize our customer. It's Anna. She is 67 years old, for example. She is concerned about her safety because of pandemic. But she wants to see or to meet her family and friends. So that's like that. That's how we describe the persona of the customer with many details. You see, the age, what she wants, what is her problem. For example, we go the fields that surround our persona. What does she think? What does she feel? For example, she feels fear to fall ill. She's afraid to fall ill. She thinks that her family, her children maybe, need her help, for example. in, I don't know, cooking, maybe. Okay, so that's just the examples. That's just my fantasy right now. So that's what she thinks, what she feels. Then we go next. What does she see? Well, she sees, for example, unpleasant COVID statistics. For example. Then we go next. What does he or she say or do? What can she do? For example, she is sitting in isolation because she cannot leave her home, for example. What does she hear? Well, I don't know, maybe some bad news on TV. That what on radio, if he hears, okay, on radio about the pandemic situation. Okay. Okay, that is it. For example, that's the description of our potential customer. It's not so detailed because when you will be working on your idea, when you will be working in groups now, you may place several sticky notes. You may depict the thoughts, the feeling as detailed as you can, as many thoughts, feelings as you may imagine for your potential customer. So, and here we may think about we have, for example, some product that we want to give this Anna, this person Anna. For example, it's the service for online meeting, well, for example, Zoom meetings with family and friends, Zoom dinners with family and friends is our product, for example. So the pain. In this frame, you write what problems your potential customer may face while using this service. For example, it may be a lack of digital skills. Well, it may be just hard for Anna to use Zoom, for example. Or it may be bad internet connection. Or anything like that. And then there is another frame, it's gain. It's what will Anne gain from our product, from the product we propose to her. Well, possibility to communicate with family and friends. For example. So that's the portrait of your customer concerning your product. If you already know what your product is, in your cases, you will be given the persona of your customer and the products. The next that you will do, well, I think, what about the timing? Okay, so I think maybe let us move to the next frame that you will have to fill. It's the stakeholders map. Why is it also important to fill the stakeholders map? When you know your customer, when you know your product, it will be some service for online Zoom dinners with family and friends. You have to know who else beside your customer may be interested in your product. That is to say, who may be your investor, for example, or maybe it's the negative context, who may not let you make your product, what maybe institutions or who can prevent you from bringing your idea to life. So here you write the several fields. You name the product, you write your customer here, or maybe some other potential customers who also may be interested in this service. I won't just waste time writing it right now. Then you mark the direct stakeholders. Well, for example, who else may be interested in such service for online Zoom dinners with family and friends? For example, big companies who need to make corporate meetings, corporate parties with their employees, who want to improve the working atmosphere, to bring the teams together. They may also use such online dinner services for their needs, for example. That may be the direct stakeholders who may be interested in investing in buying this product, for example. It may be some big companies who offer some similar services. Or anything else. Indirect stakeholders may be someone who is not, well, just so clear at the moment, but potentially maybe in some time will be interested in the product that you are offering. So you will try to fix your customers, direct stakeholders and indirect stakeholders in this frame. And the third frame that you will work with well, you will be working in the teams, is the solutions board. It's the board for your ideas, how to make this product better. So you will be given a product, you will depict the portrait of your customer, you will think of who your stakeholders may be, who will be your investors, who may stop you from introducing your product to the market. And after that, you will think of how you can make your product better for your customer, which features you may add to the product promoted, so that it will be more, well, so that it can conquer the market, be better for your customer. So these are the three steps you will have now to do in your groups. Who will be your personas? You see the boards, this one where I showed the example is the board for the first team. Then if we go down, if we scroll down, you see the same board for the team 2, for the second team. So when I divide you in Zoom in 2 separate rooms, you will have to switch your microphones to communicate. I won't be there, so please take initiative in your hands. Try to communicate, to generate ideas, to think, to discuss the ideas, and to promote the better solutions for your customers. Now I'm placing the stickers for the first team with your persona and your product. Just a minute, I will. Copy the text. So the persona for the first team will be Victor. He is 32 years old. He is a manager in a big corporation. He loves sports, but he has little of time to do sports. Still, he is very concerned about his physical form. And as a product, you are selling, you are producing sports clothes. So you have to depict what your customer thinks, feels, what he sees, what he says and does, what he hears, and think of what pains and gains your product, this sports clothes, may have to make doing sports for Victor easier somehow. So try to think about it. I'm placing this sticky note in the middle for the first team, so I'm getting this away. Okay, like this. And for the second team, your persona will be just a minute. I pick the new one. So your persona will be Valerie. Valerie is 46 years old and she loves sweets, but she is very concerned about her weight and is always on diet. The product that you are producing is pastry. So try to think what your customer is in concern with your in concern with your product, and what you can do to make pastry better for Valerie with fewer risks for her health and her weight and her physical form. There will be two teams. So there are 6 of you in here. 3 persons will be in the teams. Now I will randomly mix you in 2 groups. Please, if you have any questions right now, ask me about the forms you will have to fill, about how it will all work. I will see the timing. You will have approximately 15 minutes. About the COVID, you want to choose Anna as well. Well, okay, so you can make, you see on the right, there is the same boards with home task. So if you want to work separately, I can leave you in this room with me, and you can work on the persona of Anna, but I'm afraid I deleted this sticky note. But if you want, if Anna is more interesting, you are free to do like that. Okay. Fine with Anna. Okay, so we may, okay, now I'm doing like this. I'm placing Anna here, then I'm okay, so Luigi, Mashut, who else would like to join and regard the persona of Anna, who I don't remember, she's 67 or something like that. Okay, like this. Okay, let us do it like this. This will be for the first team, and so I will place you in the first team. And I'm sorry, I'm placing it on the second one. And the second team will have opportunity to choose which of the personas you will take, so you may just delete the other one. Okay, let's do it like this. So now I'm mixing you in 2 groups, You will have 15 minutes for discussion, And then we will join back to the main room and discuss the results that you had. Don't forget to fill the forms. So you're not only just discussing, but you're also filling the forms, trying to think about the main stakeholders as well, trying to think about the ideas, how to make the product better. So please.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, sorry for interrupting. I wanted to propose that one team choose the Zoom platform for communication, and maybe, for example, another team can choose WhatsApp for communication, because two teams, brainstorming at the same time, I think it's not applicable by using this same app.
Yes, of course. No, you have two different tasks. So in one team, the persona will be Anna. In the other team, there are two more personas. They may pick any they like, any of the personas they like. And there will be different situations and different products. So you won't work on the same problem at the same time.
Actually, I mean that if two teams are working working at the same time on two different projects, so they have to communicate with each teammate, right? But it's not applicable that two teams using the same Zoom meeting for communication.
We'll have two rooms. We will have two rooms. And you will be divided into these two rooms, so you won't interrupt each other. There won't be any difficulty for you.
Okay, sorry for interrupting.
Technically, it will be all right. Okay, any more questions about how to do it, how to fulfill the task? Before I'm breaking you into two teams, I remember that Mashoud and Luigi will be in the first team, and I will join someone to this team as well, randomly. And the rest of you will work on two REST problems. Moreover, you must understand that we're only testing these instruments. So you don't have to make the real product, for example, in this 15 minutes. You just have to test these instruments, to try them, to think what was useful, what was not useful for you. And then you will work on your own projects, on your own ideas as homework. Okay, so I don't see any questions in the chat right now. So I am switching off the demonstration, I think. And I am creating the session rooms. They're called Team 1 and Team 2. Okay, so now you will get in
She feel difficult to do daily activities.
Helplessness, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But should she think that she's gonna die alone?
Maybe.
Wow. Yeah.
It's not positive, but still, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
True.
She thinks that she won't have any contact with her family. I mean, like she won't see anyone because she's isolated.
I think we have this here. Things that their family need their help, whether in cooking.
Yeah,
or,
but I think it's also like contact, you know, like.
Maybe feeling isolated. Okay. So do you think that's finished for this part?
I think so, yes. I don't know,
Okay.
unless you have something to add, guys.
What about Ananda?
I think it's enough. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. What does she see?
Bad news on media.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, that's fine. Okay, maybe, so she is isolated, so she can't see anything else, I think, than media. What about this personal experience? Saying something.
Well, I will add also, you know, like what does she see? I don't know if it's really related or not, but economy. I mean, local, let's say, economy, business collapsing. Oh no. So, for example, let's say you're like a old lady. You know, you see like a bar, restaurant, like next to you that they are closed. People that they are suffering. So that's something like something that you see.
Yeah, but I think it's the same things of feeling isolated, right? Or not?
Now this is like sitting in isolation, right? So it's an action. No.
But there's no action.
Maybe what does she or say and do watching television? I mean, like if you're like at home and what you're doing, so you are like you're absorbing so many information, right?
Okay, So that's kind of feeling, I think,
No, I
overwhelming.
think it's an action. I think it's like on the bottom, is on doing. So
Oh,
you are home,
okay,
you're
so
sitting, you're sitting home, you're staying home. What you're doing is watching television or reading.
right,
I mean, but she's
right.
70 years old, so
Mm.
she's not using, I mean, she's not really a super internet, fun. So that's another point.
Okay, so what do you suggest to write here as a conclusion?
I mean, like absorbing, let's say, watching television and listening media again.
Hmm. What else can do?
She's eating a lot, she's eating and getting fat.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe it caused also the feeling of, health issues. Yeah,
Feeling unhealthy, right? If you're eating a lot, you're feeding yourself, you're staying home, you're not walking, you're not doing nothing.
feeling what? Unhealthy. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And eating a lot. Hmm.
What about exercise? She can do exercise, so
Maybe that's maybe.
she feels lazy or something.
Hmm. Hmm. I think so. Maybe that's something that she think about it now. Feeling
Oh,
lazy
yeah,
to do exercise. All right? Or you think that's
yeah,
something?
yeah. What else does she hear though, other than bad news?
Story about, friends that they got, COVID.
Or passed away.
Oh,
Exactly.
maybe a story from her relatives that fell ill.
Hmm. Guess it, huh? Maybe chaos. She about chaos, for example, some part of the city. I don't know. The the usual routines. So also, I think this part is finished. Shall we go to next?
What is gossips?
Gossips. I think that's gossip. Gossip means fake news.
Okay.
Maybe the dictation is not right. I'm not sure about that. Uh, that's, okay, so shall we go to the next one?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Let's go to this.
Dear friends, don't forget about pains and gains of your customer. Don't forget to write about 1 or 2 stakeholders, just for example. And don't forget the ideas to make the product better. So what can you do to improve your product? It's the second and the third frame on this page to the right. So don't forget about it.
Okay.
Okay.
And you also have less choice because there are too much on the market which have too much sugar in it.
True.
Hey guys, how are you? Don't forget about.
Yeah, we're doing great. I mean, what's that? Sorry.
Very good. Don't forget about the pains and gains of your customer. What can be difficult about your product? Why it can be difficult to sell the product to your customer? What she will win while buying your product? Try to write just few 1 or 2 stakeholders on the frame to the right. Don't forget about it. And what is more important is the third frame, the ideas how to make your product better. So how can you make it so good that it would fulfill all the needs and wants of your customer? So don't forget about it.
Where is it? Is it next to a stakeholder?
Yes, yes. So you have 3 frames.
Yeah.
Next to the right from the stakeholders map.
Okay, thank you. So we have a few paints. Should we go on with the gains?
Okay.
So again, would be a healthier diet, for example.
Sure, and the taste of the food itself, it's probably going to taste better. I mean, it's a real stuff, now, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Where are you from, by the way? I didn't see you in the first day of the meeting.
I'm from Germany.
Ah.
And you too? Where are you from?
Nah. Me and Nico, we're both from Indonesia. I mean, we're from the same school and the same program. We're from computer science.
Oh, cool.
So are you interested in economics, or are you what studies are you pursuing right now?
I'm studying economics.
Lucky guess.
Yeah, and I think startups are really interesting, so I thought, why not?
Yeah, it's like it's getting all of the spotlight and all. I mean, it's there's some kind of this fear of missing out feelings. You know, I mean, let's just take the shot. What about the big circles right next to the box? I mean, the one that we just filled in. I mean, what should we do about it?
So what would be our stakeholders? I'm not sure. Maybe some food innovators.
Are they going to be direct or indirect stakeholders?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say direct stakeholders because they have also a lot of research in their companies from which we could participate.
Oh, wait.
I think customers would be easy, like it's for everyone, isn't it?
People with diabetic problems, I guess.
Yeah. But maybe also young people.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
even some very, very old people. I mean, some of them they can't just digest artificial stuff,
Yeah.
right?
So everyone.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Direct stakeholder, probably suppliers.
Yeah, that's true.
Bakers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Maybe also food companies, with which we collaborate.
Oh, yeah, true. Mm, mm.
And indirect could be venture capitals, which would give their money, so we would work with.
Investors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some sort of. What about government? I think it's kind of relevant.
Mm.
Okay, very good. So we are back in the main class. Not all of us, I think. We are missing. We're missing Mashud. Okay, so I see you have made the empathy mapping. You have outlined a few of the stakeholders, not all of them, the first team. The second team is a little bit better. I don't see the solutions for improvement of your products. Okay. So I think maybe I will give you 3 more minutes, just 3 more minutes. We don't have more, so that you could think on the improvement of how you can make this product, the pastry, or the Zoom online dinners services better. In every team, think of who will have 1 more minute to present your solutions, only the solutions, not the stakeholders, not the customers, not the description of your customer, but just how you will improve your product. So please, 3 more minutes in the rooms. I'm returning you to the rooms, but focus only on the solutions, how to make your products better. Okay, any questions?
No question.
Okay, so I'm switching once again to the rooms.
Are you guys here? Are we connected?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, let's do it.
So how do we make our product better?
I don't know, probably better advertising through targeted marketing. I don't know.
Yeah, marketing would be a good step. But maybe also research and development.
Yeah, I mean, improve the taste, right?
Maybe also customer journey. So how our customers react to the product.
Like testimonials, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, should the answers be very, very specific, or it's just a general answer?
We can also say concrete. What would you do? So, is there any example?
Like we can do online advertising through social media companies like Facebook or Instagram. I mean, they tend to show relevant ads to the more relevant audience. So I mean, it's gonna worth every dime we spend regarding advertising compared to if we put our advertisement on TV or radio. I mean, do the advertising through the digital companies. I think it's going to be better.
Yeah.
Social media marketing.
True. I don't know. Maybe we can also partnering with ride-hailing company like say Uber Eats or Grab Food, maybe.
That's good. Yes.
So I mean the customers can get the food in a more convenient, better experience. I mean, no mess, no cost, it's a single cost. Yeah, partnership then.
Okay, so you have about 30 seconds to mark the main ideas how to improve. You already have your pastries, so how to make them better, the ways of improvement, and think who will present your solutions to us, to all of us.
I don't know, we haven't decided yet, so is there anyone who'd love to volunteer?
So which is the main idea? Maybe let's start with that.
The marketing, I think, is the main idea.
The marketing?
So we're trying to change how people think about healthy foods, like that it's still good, you know, compared to ordinary pastries.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think that's our main idea, but I don't know, maybe.
It's true. I agree with you. I mean, we try to influence lots of people about how bad our product is. Let's go with it, I guess. I think it's enough.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think our time is
we
over.
already did it, right? Yeah, and that's it. So
Should we go back to the main room?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the notification, I guess.
Sorry, I had an internet connection problem. Did you get some conclusions?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so would you mind go to fill it in the form?
Two, sorry?
So would you mind put the solutions on the board, I mean?
I think Ananda do it.
Okay, that's
Or
good.
I don't know if he did already or he's...
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Okay.
we're in a united room. We're all together. I think everyone is here because we are running out of time. You have to have your time for cultural program as well, which is starting in about 10 minutes. So please, who is ready to give a brief description of the solutions, how you will improve your products? Please, maybe the first team would like to start just briefly in not more than 1 minute.
Okay.
So, Luigi, would you mind go?
Yeah, but we discussed that Ananda is gonna present actually. So
Okay, that's
okay.
Okay, so Ananda, please.
Okay.
1 minute for you. You're welcome.
Yeah. So we want to create a device that are easy to use and are already customized.
Please turn on your maybe
Camera. Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Wait a second. Yeah. Okay, so we want to create a device that are easy to use and are already customized with Zoom application within the device so that it is easy to use and ready to use. We also make the interface of the device as simple as possible so that the user may use it immediately. Also, I forgot to add that the device is already embedded with some sort of 3G or 4G connection so that it won't make the user more difficult anymore. And then the device will be sent to the address as soon as it has been ordered.
Okay.
I think that's all.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I will give little comments about the forms that you have filled. I looked on the forms of empathy mapping, and here in the block pane, you should think of why is the product you have today, you have now, so some service, some potential, for example, Zoom service, may cause pain in using for this 67-year-old Anna. So why it may be difficult, just pay attention to this. So pain is why your product may be hard to use by your customer. Yes, what problems he may face. No, and gain is, on the other hand, what advantages it gives. Because maybe some of your sticky notes, like checking her health condition, is not quite the pain. It's not the cause of using traditional Zoom. It's something maybe different. Maybe it's what she feels, or maybe what the fears of your customer are. So pay attention to this as well. And maybe you should have thought of more stakeholders, not only the customers, but direct and indirect stakeholders. I understand that you had very little of time to think about it, but just try to imagine who might be interested in this product as well. Okay, so now we're turning to the second team. Liz, who is going to present your ideas from your team?
Well, to be honest, we haven't decided yet, so I don't know. Probably Sabine would love to volunteer, or should I do it?
Anyone who is ready.
I mean, I believe all of us are ready. Probably Sabine would love to take the shot, I guess.
Do you want to present it? It would be okay for me.
I don't know. Should I do it, or would you love to do it?
Okay, let's go for Chaliza.
Okay, Chaliza, just do it because we don't have much time to discuss. So please, your minute.
Yeah, sure. So it's about selling a healthy version of a pastry, I guess, and compared to your local or regular pastry, I think this product is going to be healthier, since we're going to use lots and lots of more real non-artificial preservative inside, although it's going to cost you a little bit more. But although it's going to give you, it's going to taste better, and you're going to have a healthier diet because of it. But it's gonna be hard to find, and you don't have much choice in this market. So regarding the how we're gonna sell the product better. We're gonna do better marketing. We're gonna do targeted advertising to popular social apps. Since the advertising is going to be more relevant to people that actually want it, and we're gonna have a partnership with ride-hailing companies such as Uber Eats or Grab. So the food itself is going to be delivered to our customers' doors. No muss, no fuss, not a single cup. It's gonna be a great experience, and also we're gonna have a partnership with lots of health communities. We're gonna do health campaigns as well, and for sure to make sure the product is.
I have to stop you because your minute ran out, so you're
sorry.
out of time. But thank you. We can read the sticky notes that you placed on the board, but pay attention to the timing. I understand that minute is very little time to present anything, but if you're fixed in timing, you have to fulfill it. So I'm sorry. Okay, so very good. Thank you very much. I would like to comment on your boards as well. I would like to comment on your stakeholders mapping. I like it very much because you thought not only about the customers, but the direct stakeholders and indirect stakeholders. And you placed very good examples. You're right about them. So for the first team, maybe you should look and see the examples of how it can be made, the stakeholders mapping. So very good. Thank you very much. We have about just 2 minutes to finish our class today. We haven't touched the last frame, lean canvas, but don't worry about that. It is quite common, very similar to the Alexander Osterwalder canvas that you will get, I think, tomorrow in business models. You may look at this, it's a little bit different. The squares, the contents of the squares is a little bit different, but still quite common. And you may think of this lean canvas, and we will meet with you, I think, on Monday, and we will discuss it a little bit in the class concerned with Agile framework. So don't worry, we will return to this frame as well. And now for the homework that you will have to do. If you scroll the board to the right, you see the same maps as we did today, but for your projects. I have made 6 fields here for every one of you if you want to make individual projects. But if you want to form in some groups, you are free to do it. As I have said, you may make teams. You may be united by 2, or maybe as you did today, team 1 and team 2, as you wish. So it's up to you to decide concerning the ideas that you have. You are free to write each other in the chat or in personal messages. So that's okay. It's up to you how you will work on these frames. You will have to do these frames to Monday when we're going to meet with you, and I will give some comments on your homework, on the task that you fulfill. So you will have enough time. You will have some more classes, and we'll get some more information that will help you to fill these forms. You're working on the 2 of them yet. It's empathy mapping and the stakeholders mapping. So you underline who your customer is, who your stakeholders are, and what is your product, what you're making within your project. You may look and try to fill the lean canvas if you want, but it's not necessary. We're going to turn to it later. So that is your home task. Is everything clear about the home task you will have to do? If you will have any questions, you are free to write in WhatsApp. I will answer.
So it's possible to join to another group or accepting, for example, another teammate from other group, right?
Yes, yes, of course. You may mix,
Okay.
You are not fixed to these teams we made today. It's just, for example, you may mix how you wish. You may do a project on your own. You may pick some of your teammates and make the project together. So it's up to you. Okay. And now the last thing we are doing is the energy level, is the energy battery. So please stick your sticky notes to the energy battery. How you're feeling now after the class? Maybe your energy level rose up or maybe low down. Please place your sticky notes and you're free to go to your cultural class. I'm not holding any one of you. I wish you, I'm sorry. I wish you to have a pleasant evening or day maybe with the cultural program. And I hope that our meeting today was interesting and useful. So I'm placing my sticky note 2 on the battery. I was on the level 4. I think I'm still on the level 4. I haven't lost the energy because you are very energetic, and the energy that I'm giving through the screen or trying to give through the screen is definitely coming back to me. So thank you very much for your work today. See you on Monday with your, I hope, homework done. I will give feedback and comment on the frames that you will fill. I will look them through and give some, analyze and give some feedback and answer your questions if you will have. And we will pay attention to the lean canvas as well. So we will work a little bit on it. I will tell about it. By the way, we didn't have a chance in this course to go to the step of prototyping, but sometimes Lean Canvas is a good way to make a prototype as well, because Lean Canvas helps to describe your product or your service very, very much. So Lean Canvas is a good way of prototyping your future products or services if you don't have resources to make the MVP, for example. So as the first step, it's very good, it's very useful. You may also look at Lean Canvas, maybe try to feel it as well in your homework, and I will comment on it on Monday. Okay, so thank you very much. I'm letting you go to have your cultural program. If you have any questions, if you want to ask anything, I'm still here. I'm not switching off, so please be free to ask, but don't try not to be late for the cultural programs that the girls prepared for you today. So thanks a lot. Thank you for your feedback on the energy battery. We're analyzing all that as well. And see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, thank you also. Thank you.